Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I'm going to show you in this quick video how to test a fuse. Let's go ahead and get started. In order to complete this, all you're going to need is a multimeter that can measure continuity, which is that little symbol right there. It looks like a sound wave. I'll get a close-up of that. Pretty much what you'll do, put it on that setting, and when you have continuity, you'll hear this. So, once you have that, let's go ahead and move on to the next step so I can show you the process for testing it. Now, a lot of people will say, why do you even need to test a fuse? Because common sense is if you look at a fuse and it's burned out, you'll see that there's a break in the connection. You know that the fuse is bad. A lot of times, most people think that if you don't see that, the fuse is good, and if it's bad, then obviously you see the break. That's not always the case. There's different kinds of fuses. There's some of those where you can't see through them at all, and I'm going to show you those soon. And then you also have sometimes where the fuse may appear to be fine, but the actual break in that connection could be inside the ends of the cap, so you wouldn't see that. Now, when you're dealing with automotive fuses, a lot of times it's pretty cut and dry because of how they look. We're going to pull one of those out next. I'm going to show you what we're talking about. We're going to test that. Then we're going to move on to some regular fuses that are used in some of the arcade games that I have or in other devices where they're more the straight fuse, and those are the ones that can be a little bit tricky. And that's why it's good to know how to test them in general just to verify that they're working fine, because if you only go by the visual inspection, that may not always give you the correct answer. So let's move on here. I'm going to pop a fuse out and we're going to test it. I'm going to pull one of these out. These are your typical kind of fuses that you'll find in vehicles. There it is right there. Let's get a close-up of that and we'll see exactly how that looks, and then we're going to go ahead and test it. And here's the fuse, and you can see right there the connection is not broken. Everything's intact. You can see the loop going around. A lot of times when these burn out, you'll see a break right there. So when we test the continuity on this one, we should get the beep because the circuit is complete. Let's go ahead and connect the wires up to it, and I'll show you what we're talking about. We're going to set that, as we showed earlier, to continuity. We're going to take the two wires, and we're going to connect them to both ends here. So we have one here. You can see that because the actual connection is complete. It's reading it perfect. So in this case here, even though visually you can clearly see this one was fine, we're going to show on the other ones where it's harder to tell. But this one obviously checks out fine, so we know it's good. I have two different fuses here. We have just a typical slow blow fuse, and then on this side we have a ceramic tube fuse. These are the ones that I'm talking about here. It's hard for you to tell whether the thing's blown or not because it's all white, so you don't have the clear glass like you do with this one to where you can clearly see in there if it's been blown out, or like in the automotive one that we just looked at where it's kind of a translucent where you can see through it. So these right here are the ones mainly that you want to test, but even with this kind here, you can sometimes have it blow inside that cap area. So if you're visually looking at the glass area there, it looks fine, but the connection could still be severed. So that's where the testing really comes in handy. So we're going to go ahead and test these now and see if they are in good condition or not. Set it to continuity as we've been doing already. Let's try this first one here. Okay, that one's good. Let's try this one here. Let's try the ceramic one. Okay, both of them checked out good, so that's good right there. Next, let's go head over to one of my machines, one of my arcades, where you can also check the fuses while they're in place as well. You don't always have to unseat them like this. We can also check them while they're in and make sure that the connection is good also in there as well. Coming into this machine here, under this lid here, this little cap, there's our fuses. As you can see them, they're lined up. So without even removing them, we can use the same process of testing it. So we'll connect one end here, and we'll do one here. And that one actually may not be in good shape. Let's check it again. Okay, that one's good. And you could even do it right here from the actual mounts to make sure that it's going through. So if we put it right there on the mount, that's good as well. So that's a way that you can also check the fuses while they're seated in position. That way you don't always have to remove them. All right, well, that pretty much wraps up this video. Just a quick video just to show you a method that you can use to check fuses, just to test them real quick. It comes in handy if you're trying to pinpoint or diagnose a problem. You're not sure if the fuse is the cause, and you're just looking at it visually and everything looks good. Just break out a multimeter, set it to continuity. Just do a simple check just as a second option, just a backup, just to ensure that the fuse is in good shape. I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you out. Please send me any questions, any comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate all the support. So please like the video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.